That's embarrassing. You can almost hear her say, Olay.
Nobody's listening, right?
Hi, Andy.
Hello.
So excited to chat with you for an hour.
Yeah.
As though no one were listening. This really is kind of a very special time for us.
It especially feels like it right now where we're
fucking idiots.
Gripping and ripping it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. First of all, is anyone listening?
Yeah, this is from Yinzer Bougie.
Oh.
The title is Pervert Shame Be Damned.
Yes.
Elizabeth and Andy, I want to start by saying you are what we all need in life to be reminded that there is hope in the world.
Okay.
And that while not perfect,
no,
totally worth it. I don't know how to unpack that sentence completely.
Well, we're not perfect. The show's far from perfect, but it's still worth it.
Okay.
Life's not perfect.
There you go.
Worth it.
I'm a newish listener. Thank you, Monica.
Hallelujah.
And wanted to let you know that you both bring me so much joy.
Aww.
Andy, I'm also an adult ADHD diagnosed person, and your unique beeps and boops has brought me comfort. And Elizabeth is right. If not
full stop.
Oh yeah, in most, if not all things.
Oh, great.
But everyone is thinking Box City is about vaginas, LOL.
Correct.
Please don't stop. You make everything better. Quick side note, I went to the amazing store Box City. I went to a new Outpost.
Whoa, that was a Freudian slip. Outpost?
I mean,
an outpost?
Outpost.
Oh, boy.
I went to a new Outpost. It was a newer store.
Uh-huh.
I also got added to the rewards program, and they were so nice. I think I like my older school store better.
Wait.
Yeah.
Rewards program?
Yeah, they have a rewards program now.
And you're just now joining?
It's a point system. I think it's new.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You should be hyped on this. It's a point system. For every 250 points you accrue, you get $5.
I'm a little hyped on it, but I do want to say, I think we're just jumping into this episode. The reason you went there was to get a box for, we are doing a massive clean out of our garage and our house and everything. We're having a huge yard sale.
Yeah.
Our garage is so stunning right now. I could weep.
Yeah.
It's so organized and clean and clear. And it used to be, as our daughter said, this was the most chaotic place in our lives. And now
our daughter said that?
Yeah.
Really?
She said it was the most disorganized. Not
okay.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. This just seems like stuff that you would tell her to say.
No, our daughter's like me. She loves organized stuff. She really does.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, I know that.
You don't know her that well?
No, I think in many ways, though, she's very much like me.
Well, I think she has a harder time being organized, maybe.
I'm not just talking about the organization at all. I'm just saying if we were
she has qualities that are more like you
Yes.
and more like me in other ways.
Yeah.
And I want to omit the part where I said she has a hard time because she actually doesn't have a hard time being organized. She's only 11.
Mm-hmm.
But she loves to organize her room. And she said now it's the most spacious, clean, organized place in our home. We
gotta get a ping pong table eventually.
No. We're not going to do ping pong. It's just going to muck it all up.
No, you get a folder that goes behind the curtain. We'll talk about it in 6 months.
We wanted to thank this week's sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding.
Oh, yeah.
So it's summer, Andy, which means it's hot out.
Yes.
But it's also hot in. Yeah. Sometimes. And if our listeners' family is like ours, you got a mix of temperature regulators in the household.
We are not all on the same page.
No, we are not. And one of our kids runs real hot. I mean, I remember holding her up to an air conditioner unit in our original house in LA when she was 7 months old, dripping sweat. And I was like, babies shouldn't sweat.
Yeah.
Well, it's something we've dealt with, but enter a real game changer. Brooklyn Bedding's Aurora Luxe Cooling Mattress and Luxury Cooling Gel Memory Foam Pillow. These products are incredible. First of all, it's all made without any fiberglass, unlike some other mattress companies. It's all healthy for you. And then the technology is incredible. It literally feels cool when you lay your head down on this pillow and on this mattress.
Dream.
And truly game changer. I mean, we went from waking up many times a night, not getting a full night's sleep, which you need for that REM and all that jazz, to sleeping through the night.
Our daughter's going to have the best summer sleeps of her
entire life.
Yes.
So let this be the summer you give your hotties, big and small, the gift of great sleep. The best part is you can try this out for 120 days. Actually, 120 nights.
Ooh!
And if you don't love it as much as we do, they'll help you return it or pick out a different one.
Nice.
So go to brooklynbedding.com, use our promo code NLR at checkout to get 30% off site-wide.
You know what I'm going to scoop up with that code?
What?
One of those pillows.
Well, go to brooklynbedding.com and use our promo code NLR. This offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use our promo code NLR on the very last page of checkout to get this discount. That's brooklynbedding.com. And promo code NLR for 30% off site-wide. Okay, well, anyway, in Discovery, we've been in the Discovery, what's that called? Not Discovery Zone, but like the Discovery era.
Okay.
Of unpacking all of our shit. You didn't really fully go through your stuff. You admitted to me yesterday.
Because I didn't see a koozie, a Michelob koozie in a box that I kept.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I missed a koozie.
Well, I've gone through every little tiny thing.
Don't be a coos right now.
I don't know. I don't. That feels bad. I don't know why.
I just thought it was good with koozie.
And I found my grandmother's,
Yes.
Bubba's,
Yeah.
so our children's great-grandmother,
Yeah.
Madame Alexander dolls.
Didn't mean anything to me at first, but I guess it's a thing we find out. And to many people listening
It
might
didn't mean
realize
anything to you?
Madame Alexander.
Oh, okay. Well, they were a very high-end, beautiful doll. They are very special, but they're kind of just creepy and take up space now. I loved them a lot when I was a child. I wasn't allowed to play with them the way I wanted to because my grandmother was very particular. Everything had to be just so.
You like to
What does that sound like?
You like to look at different parts and take parts apart and cut hair.
I did. I gave the bride kind of a bad haircut.
Yeah.
But these dolls also have a history because she collected them.
As I was trying to allude to earlier, they have a history in the sense of they've been around for a long time. These are a thing people like and collect. Yes.
And they're beautifully made. And they are.
Okay.
Don't make a face. They're beautifully made. Okay. Some of them have glaucoma now, like the eyes have gone cloudy.
That happens in old age.
That does happen in old age, but they've held up relatively well otherwise. These are the dolls that my grandmother had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and she couldn't move her body for many, many years.
Yeah.
And she had live-in nurses who were wonderful, most of them, because they put up with a lot, because I think my grandmother was sharp as a whip. She was smart as hell. And then when she can't use her body, she started to try to like control things a little bit. And I think she was tough to work for. I think she wasn't always the kindest. And
a real Michelob koozie.
Don't you dare. First of all, she was class. You don't put the word Michelob in with my Bubba. Anyway, one nurse in front of her very eyes stole some Madame Alexander dolls. And there's nothing she can do about it.
Oh, that is really dark.
That's dark.
Yeah.
But these ones made it.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense if the nurse maybe took the good stash. Because
hey,
I don't know what if the
we
stash
got
we got
Queen
was...
Elizabeth I. She's good. We have Elise Ballerina, gorgeous.
Sergeant. We
Southern
don't have to
Belle.
get into it because I'm going to get into their names in a second.
Okay, well, anyway, you went to Box City and you got this massive, heavy, like, box. Like, we're shipping it overseas. And by the way, an Amazon box today came that they could all fit in.
Okay, why are you saying it like this? We measured together what box that we thought would be good, and you were like, 20 by 21 by 10. Okay, they don't have that exact, but they had a 22 by 22 by 12.
Okay, well, it's so way too big. We're going to have to use so much packing. In fact, we should probably put this Amazon box in that box and then
That's going to add to the weight.
Well, anyway, it's $1 million to send it. So have we gotten any bids on your eBay? We're selling it on eBay at an auction.
Yes, this is going to be painful for you. So I'm an old school eBay auction guy. I always start my auctions at a penny, okay? Because I feel like it attracts the most eyeballs. It's the most fun way to do it. So far, it's been up for 24 hours almost.
No, it hasn't.
18 hours?
We did it last night before bed.
16 hours.
Okay.
And we've got one bid for a penny on it so far. So it will sell. It will definitely sell.
Oh, no.
Now, there's probably going to be listeners listening to this that are thinking, I would bid on this. It's only a penny, to get Elizabeth's dolls. That could be cool. Unfortunately, this auction is going to be over by the time this airs because we're recording this. This will come out, I think, the day the auction ends. So I'm so sorry about that. This is painful. So the auction just ended and you made the description and I'm going to read your description.
Okay.
I made a couple amendments to your description.
Yeah.
Okay. Listing. Madame Alexander vintage dolls, lot of 6 plus 1 unknown brand porcelain doll.
Yes.
And then it gets into the description. Oh no. Oh no, oh no.
What?
It doesn't have the edit that I made. Oh, boy.
Wait, is there a description?
No, your description's in there, but I wanted my caveat in there. Oh, this is embarrassing. This is very embarrassing. I guess let me just read it and then I'll tell you what my caveat was. Oh, boy. What a bunch of beauties you receive. Number 1, Elise, bridesmaid doll with stand and tag at 17 3/4 inches. She's wearing her polished pearls and basket of flowers as well as her floral ribboned headpiece.
Yes.
She's ready for her friend's wedding. The only concern is she might turn more heads than the bride. Parentheses, we all get that. And, oh my God. 2, Queen Elizabeth I herself. At 8.5 inches tall with stand, she's regal as ever with her bejeweled crown, pearl necklace and earrings, and cascading cape. Her forthright gaze is that of a beloved monarch. Did you use AI to write this? Cascading cape? Oh my God. Number 3. Elise, the ballerina, at 17 3/4 inches with stand and tag. She's ready to wow with her beautiful ballet slippers and velvet necktie. We just hope she doesn't trip during her Swan Lake solo, as her point shoes have come untied. Oh no.
Did you see the picture? There's a picture of her feet. One of her ballet slippers is untied.
I will put up all the eBay photos in this video so you can see it on YouTube or Spotify. Okay, so people can see this right now.
Okay.
Number 4, Lily, at 8.5 inches tall with stand. This senorita is ready for a flamenco party in her stunning jacket and hat with a cascading red skirt.
Cascading.
Ooh, I don't like that you use cascading twice.
I'm embarrassed.
That's embarrassing. You can almost hear her say, Olay. Oh my God. Wait, I don't remember a flamenco-y one. Is that real?
Yeah. With
Are
the
you
red skirt.
Was it just a red
And
skirt
the
or was
bolero.
it? Okay, there was a bolero.
Yeah.
Well, that seems a missed opportunity that you didn't put bolero in this part.
I just thought of it.
And her name's Lily?
Well, carry on.
But is her name actually Lily, like on the tag?
Yeah.
That's confusing. My favorite one, number 5, Sergeant. At 13.5 inches tall with stand, this Southern belle has just returned from a garden stroll with her latest suitor and seems quite smitten in her gorgeous purple polka dot dress, summer hat, red ringlets, and lace parasol. We hope she and him have a bright future, brighter than our next friend. ... Number 6. Elise Bride. 15 inches with stand. Perhaps she should have known the wedding wasn't going to work out when he demanded she dye her gorgeous blonde locks brown for her special day. Despite a gorgeous lace dress and a pearl-encrusted veil, Elise had a rough wedding and wants out. She's just scared of what her parents might say. Oh my God. And finally, 7, bonus. Rare vintage. This is like the least rare of the bunch for sure.
Well, I couldn't find her online. So I figure she's rare.
Rare vintage unknown brand porcelain Victorian lady at 17 inches with stand who is wearing her finest corseted dress with a bustle, a darling ribbon necklace with cameo pendant. What the fuck is a cameo pendant?
It's like that cool little pendant that has like in ivory. It used to be carved out of bone, like a lady's face with kind of coral gem behind it.
And that's, you just know the name of those?
Yeah.
As a cameo pendant?
Uh-huh.
Wow. And a floral fancy hat. After having a successful day shopping, she's ready for a fainting couch and some libations. Okay, and then I see my tagline. So I put in the end thing of mine, but I didn't put in the top. At the end, I wrote, feel free to send any and all questions. Good luck bidding. I always put that.
Uh-huh.
At the beginning, I thought I wrote, like, we think these were my wife's from her grandmother. We think they're from the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put a disclaimer. The following description was written by my wife.
Because you have some street cred on eBay you want to maintain?
I have a lot of, this will be over my like 100th sale, and I have a perfect score.
Oh.
And I just don't want to mess this up. But this, I don't think this will mess things up. I don't think this is going to get you the money that you're hoping for.
Well, here's my thing.
But I'm glad you had fun doing this.
You know what? I want to be generous of spirit. This brought my grandmother, Bubba, a lot of joy. I think she would have thought they'd be worth more now. Like, she definitely treated these as a precious investment. But I got a lot of joy out of them as well. And I've carried them with me for the last 26 years, hauling them from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if we are giving them away, basically, to someone who is excited to have them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have good news for you.
Okay.
All right. You're up to $3 is the current bid now.
Okay.
And it's been viewed 15 times.
Okay.
And there've been 3 bids, and there's also 5 people watching it. That seems like a decent ratio if there's only 15 views and you already got 3 bids.
And a third of the people are watching
it to see what happens.
Okay.
So we'll update on next episode what it sold for.
Great.
But you're okay if it sells for like $10?
Well, I have to be.
Yeah.
Because that's the gamble.
That's the gamble. And I love your attitude. It will bring people joy.
Yes. Well, one of the highlights, by the way, of this huge garage clean out we did is we now have kind of a dedicated Trainwell space.
Oh, we got a gym situation
Which
now.
I want our listeners to know that, yes, they are sponsors, but they are also now my entire personality. Like, I have a hard time not just talking about it incessantly because the Trainwell app has truly changed my life.
Yeah.
And no joke, I'm obsessed with it. I haven't been this consistent with anything ever before in my entire life, except maybe like feeding our children.
Well, they hold you accountable. That's the other thing.
They do, but it's not too much.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
But we haven't slipped yet. We don't know if Darian and Nate might, like, if we slip, they might get real, like, hey.
Darian's really understanding, and, like, she was very accommodating. We went to Boise.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't necessarily going to be able to do the exact workouts at the Hampton Inn and Suites.
Yeah.
She, first of all, asked for a picture of the hotel facilities.
That's so amazing.
And then she was like, let's move your workouts around so you don't have to do a workout while you're there, but I will make like a more kind of motility, easy to do 12-minute kind of stretchy, bendy workout.
Oh, nice.
And then one other one you could do in the hotel gym if you want to. Guess what?
You did.
I did them.
Bonus exercises.
It's just a half hour. I can easily fit it in. And here's the difference. I'm intimidated by the gym. I don't have to drive to the gym.
Yeah.
It's not now like the whole morning of my day.
Yeah.
I can easily fit it in. I love the feeling of sweating.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize I hadn't really like sweat from working out in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
These workouts are challenging. And now I feel more confident. I'm getting stronger. And I want all of our listeners to be on this journey with us. So please take the quiz to find your perfect trainer and get 14 days of free training at go.trainwell.net/nobody's listening right. That's
go.trainwell.net/nobody's listening right.
And if you want that link, if you're listening right now, you can't write it down. It's in our show notes.
It is indeed.
And it's also on your screen if you're watching.
QR code time, baby.
Andy, in our garage organization, were there any other gems that you found and came across that you were like, oh, that?
I'm trying to think of some cool stuff I found.
Michelob koozie.
Michelob koozie, that was okay.
Oh, you found a magazine article that you came in to show us. It's in Big Shot magazine.
Oh, yeah, Big Shot magazine.
And you came in because, it's hard with kids to impress upon them how impressive we are.
How big of a big shot we are?
Yeah, we've talked about this before where I feel like now that they're older, it's a little different, but there used to be a phase where I would jump rope and our kids would go, how do you know how to do that? Or they'd show us something and be like, can you believe I can do this? And we're like, yeah we can do that too.
Yeah.
But Big Shot magazine, there was a picture of you, a whole spread about you in your music producing career.
I believe they call it a piece about me.
A piece about you.
Yeah, so I got to show off, and it was a good photo of me looking young and
you look hot,
full of dreams and potential. Lots of potential. Unfulfilled potential. Untapped.
Well, it was getting tapped.
So you don't
then.
think I don't think
back then?
Yeah.
It's been tapped now.
Yeah.
It's been tapped.
I'm washed up and no longer in Big Shot magazine.
Don't say that. I don't think you're washed up. But you are no longer in Big Shot magazine because I don't know if Big Shot magazine is still in Big Shot magazine. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we can move on from the garage, but nothing. I mean, I literally could stand there and gaze upon our garage for hours and hours. I put up a new curtain system that hides all of...
Do you want me to put up a clip of this in the video so people can see right now? Like, you're proud of this.
I'm proud of it. Actually, you can go in our Trainwell video. You can see me working out. At the end of it, I did kind of a reveal behind the curtain of all of our organized bins. Everything's in its place. And I'm so happy.
Nice.
But let's get off the garage, even though I could talk about it all. I mean, I could do a whole podcast series.
This is how those
Should I be an organizer?
Yeah, I was going to just say, this is how those two ladies, who you love them. Who are they? This is how they got started, probably.
I kind of love them, but I have some issues.
Please tell me real quick.
Okay. What are they called? Well, we don't need to shout them out. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. Their claim to fame, and they're darling women. I especially relate to the one who always wears headbands.
And she has a lot of heart sweaters like
Yes, I love her. She's adorable.
Yeah.
They're both lovely, both very good. And I also get very moved. They have now they have a show. I feel like you guys bought me the book at one point.
You can get their Tupperware to store stuff, storage bins.
And I love a bin. I love a hook. I love any organization. So I'm all in. My issue with them is
their politics.
No. Their claim to fame. Well, I don't know what their politics. I don't want someone
They have some really intense stuff about Gaza and Israel, for sure.
Andy, don't do that. That's not true. Okay. Their claim to fame is the rainbow, how they organize books into the rainbow look. Okay.
Okay. By color.
And everything's rainbow. Yes. So my issue is when they do all of these kids' room makeovers, they put all of the pens and crafts and pencils in rainbow. So
it's too LGBTQ friendly.
No, the reveal when you walk in is, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Right.
Well, give that kid 3 fucking minutes and it's done. I mean, you then have to spend it's a full-time job as a parent to re-rainbow.
Hold on. Is this really your beef with them?
Yes.
Like you feel
It's the edit or something like
passion.
that.
I can see the passion about you.
Like, what the fuck?
Okay, wait. What's the other solution for like a kid's room that doesn't have these issues?
The pens be where the pens are, so that
They're by color there.
But a kid can put the pen back however they put it back, and it's not going to undo the look of it. I want someone who's real.
Those ladies are super real.
No, well, you think they are until you look and go, oh, so you expect a 4-year-old? I'm sorry, to put the markers back by color? Are you out of your fucking mind? And then the whole room is like rainbow themed. And so then the whole room is fucked up.
Got it. Okay.
With I'm not kidding, 2 minutes.
No, it's not just the color coordination.
Like the craft paper, it's all, I know it's not just, but if you're going to do organizing for real lives, and that's what my company is going to be called, organizing for real people. Okay.
Do I get to go on this ride at all? Because I sort of identify with the other lady. Do you know what I mean? You know, like and they have like good banter sort of thing.
They have great banter.
She's a little bit more of the like edgier one, which would be me, and you're the cute, like, you know.
Huh. Yeah.
Friendlier.
I see myself as a blend of both of them.
You do?
Yes. But I'm keeping it real.
God, I do wish we could shout them out because I kind of want you to start a beef because it feels like those are real shots fired that you just did.
Okay. So, but we will move on from the garage because I want to talk about our recent trip, which was highs and lows.
Peaks and valleys. Let's
talk about the highs of our trip to Boise before we get into the heavy stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you start?
That seems smart. Why don't you start with a high?
Okay.
And I'll pile on highs.
Many highs. I mean, first of all, spending time with family, of course.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But we got to do some really cool stuff. Now, your brother, Matt, works for a large grocery chain.
Yes.
That we're not going to say who.
No.
And they have these massive warehouses where the trucks come to unload the groceries or the food from wherever they're coming from.
Yeah.
And your brother's job, he manages one of the teams that handles the trucking logistics for this chain.
Yes, something like that.
We don't still actually know what he does, but what we do know is a few fascinating things because we got a full tour of this warehouse, which is it's the biggest physical
building we've ever been in.
Yes.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Maybe besides like the Louvre.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe we should take that out.
I think we can leave it in with a caveat.
I just really like to tell the truth on this show. And that feels like a real misstep.
Okay. Well, it's so massive. And there are all these different rooms and zones. And there's the zone for we went into the freezer room, which is -10 degrees.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you kind of glossed over the purpose of this, but maybe not really. This is where all the food comes for all the grocery stores in the area, and then trucks take it out to the individual grocery stores. So this is like the mecca for all of your grocery store food.
Yes.
So it's fucking crazy.
And the system that is in place is, talk about efficiency. It's shocking. There are hundreds and hundreds of employees who are going around on these little trucks everywhere. And it feels like, you know what it reminded me? WALL-E.
Yeah, I was going to say WALL-E. They're whizzing around on these little things.
To get the food and unloading. And also there's people who, this is a little intimidating. There are people in the office area who can track where each employee is, how much time they're taking to unload certain things. It's very kind of like you're being watched, but that's what they got to do, I guess, also for safety.
Yeah.
And there are these different rooms. Now, this grocery chain, this was shocking to me. #1 bestseller by a landslide.
Yeah.
Is banana.
Banana.
What?
Yeah.
Who is eating all these bananas?
And boy, did we see a fuck ton of bananas.
And there are 3 massive banana rooms.
It was 5.
5.
Yeah.
And I was glad that the great big huge doors to the banana rooms were all yellow.
You gotta be yellow.
But there are about 10 people specifically trained just to handle the banana rooms.
Because you can't fuck up the bananas because those are your number one seller.
Yes. And these stores are putting in orders 2 times a day. This place is in operation 24/7. There's also a room, and we walked like miles touring this place. There's a room that's for frozen goods, and it's negative 10 degrees.
Now, we were getting freaked out because our daughter gets cold very easily. You have cold urticaria where you get hives when things are too cold.
I'm literally allergic to cold.
Right. And so there is like some trepidation with this because my brother said, hey, we are going to go in one room. It's really cold, but I'll bring extra sweatshirts. You guys should maybe bring sweatshirts and a knit hat and stuff. So we're sort of prepared. But as we're walking through this giant warehouse, we see some of these guys that have like nice Idaho beards flying around on their little car things. And they have frost all over their beards. So we're like, oh shit, this is going to be fucking cold.
And it was.
Yeah.
So while we were in the cold room, we saw this like cool robot thing go and take a pallet of something, and it was very cool and fucking freezing. And I love our sister-in-law Sherry with all my heart. Even every time I spend time with her, I'm like, I love her even more.
Yeah.
She did ask a question in this room. And I was like, no questions. We got to get out of here. And she was wearing shorts.
Yeah. Insane.
And she decided to ask a question that took time to answer.
Even the like amazing robot thing in that room.
Yeah.
Halfway through the demonstration, I was like, I get it. And I know what's going to happen next. Like, I'm good. Like, I saw the awe part. Like,
it's incredible.
We can exit this room.
Yes. And so then we got to go to the trucking depot and saw, which was, I'm actually writing a feature film that there will be some of this involved in it.
Yeah.
So it was very cool to see like the ins and outs of this. And you and our kids got to go up in a
18-wheeler tractor trailer
and with the driver in the thing. I didn't get to be there.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was pretty fucking cool. So we hop in with this guy and he takes us on like a little drive kind of around the area and shows us like, this is where the trucks pull in. Mm-hmm. This is where they pull out. You see that cool little specialty truck that just like puts the trailers into the warehouse. That's
They're called yard dogs.
A yard dog. And so we got to learn that. This is where we gas up and stuff. And it was fascinating. And those trucks are just insane. You are so high up.
I was a little nervous. You guys were gone for a while.
Probably about 15 minutes.
We thought you were just going around the building.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, the manager of that depot was like, I don't know where they went. And I was like, we had just seen the screen where they can keep track of every little dot. Like they're on top of knowing where everything is at all times.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope all's well, because my entire heart and life is in that truck, you know, like heaven forbid.
We're like cruising down the highway going like 80, just having the time of our lives.
Well, anyway, it was incredible. And the kids were like over the moon, I think, one of them was...
I think that part was intense for the kids.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it was so interesting to see. And let me tell you, I went to Trader Joe's once we got back and I was like, I will never look at this the same way again.
And you can even like extrapolate to, let's say, the Trader Joe's or your Vons or Piggly Wiggly's. That next step,
Wiggly,
I have a more appreciation for at the grocery store, whoever's keeping track of like what they need to re-up in all of that.
Yeah.
How the whole ecosystem comes together.
Right.
Is insane. Like we saw basically the brain part, but there's the part before that of all the suppliers of all the different types of food and all what they're doing in their own realm.
I know.
Like we live in a time.
We take for granted.
Holy shit, we're so fucking lucky.
We are so lucky. So then actually kind of on the opposite end of that, another day I took the kids cherry picking with my my niece,
Yeah.
your niece, our niece,
Yeah.
and sister-in-law. And you were staying back with the rest of the fam, but that was unreal. And I'm really sad that you couldn't go with us. I mean, we were out in rural Idaho, but it was only like an hour drive away from where we were. And we come to this farm, I mean, dirt road farm, and you drive up and there are these glorious cherry trees. Now, the county is called Gem County.
Okay.
And it's because it looks like rubies in the sun, like hundreds of millions of rubies on these trees.
Are you sure about that? Because Idaho is the gem state. It's also known for potatoes, but I always thought, being from Idaho, that there must be a lot of real gems around.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But
do you know a lot of like gem mines?
I think what you're saying is you saw Gem County and then you saw the way things look and you're like, that's why. I think Idaho's the gem state because there must be some gems.
Well, I'm looking it up right now. It's the gem state due to the abundance of minerals and precious stones.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And then Gem County has various gems besides minerals, such as its rich agricultural legacy. So it's both.
We're both right.
But so these cherry trees are kind of low to the ground, and the ground cover underneath them is like lush grass. And then their branches kind of like, they're so overloaded with cherries that their branches are kind of like weeping down upon you.
Okay.
And it felt like I was in Alice in Wonderland. And the light was beautiful. The air is so clean. Like the cherries, I mean, maybe they spray them down with water or something, but the cherries were all so clean.
Oh.
I think because the air is so clean there. Whereas here, I feel like when you pick fruit, it's, you know, it's covered in grime that you have to wash off.
Mm-hmm.
We ate like a million cherries. We had cherry juice dripping down our chins. It was, you just grab like handfuls of them off the trees and gobbling up cherries and
sounds sticky.
Finding which tree had the tastier cherry or like the tartar cherry.
Whoa.
It was incredible. And we gathered a bunch of cherries, but our niece and sister-in-law got like 2 massive buckets filled with cherries that they were going to
spent like $50 on cherries.
They're going to turn into, and they bought our cherries also.
Oh, that's sweet.
So it was magical. And I highly recommend to anyone. I think it was called Tyler's Farm.
It was in Emmett, Idaho. One other gem that we would be remiss to not shout out was the Hampton Inn in Meridian.
Yes.
Now, you are not a Hampton Inn lady.
Well, we were laughing about it. Listen.
You're a 4-star. You like your fancy hotels lady.
5. I mean, we're 5. Listen, I'm definitely like, we're in a frugal time in our lives. Mm-hmm. I'm not above anything at this point.
But you were not excited to go to a Hampton Inn.
I do think, my mom was really high on travel. She was a travel agent. She worked for an airline in her younger years. And she also was a Southern Belle, like sergeant. She liked the finer things in life. And I don't care about like Gucci or Yves Saint Laurent. I mean, I wouldn't turn my nose up at them. But I'm not like a label person. I don't need to live in a huge giant. I don't want to have a huge giant house because I'm just like, it's hard to keep organized and clean. Mm-hmm. The place that I want to spend money is travel.
Yeah.
And kind of there's nothing better to me than a really nice hotel. Like that's like one of life's total luxuries that I will absolutely overspend on. Okay. And I love it. So when booking the Hampton Inn, now I'm also...
It was a last-minute trip.
I'm doing points hacking.
Yep.
And we get points, and I was excited about that. And we were joking about there's a free breakfast. Well, you look online, and the free breakfast looks sad.
It looks very sad.
Like, there was a picture that, first of all, it made it look way smaller. Like, it was one little table with waffles that you make yourself.
Yep.
And then, like, there was a bowl and it had a sign over it that just said cheese.
Yeah.
And it was just shredded cheese.
Yeah.
So expectations were pretty low.
Pretty low. But we noticed that the reviews were pretty good for the hotel, though. So we were like, this seems odd. But it was the right price. It was the right location. So we did it.
We did it. And it was awesome. Now, I want to shout out a few people there.
Okay.
Rochelle.
Shout out.
Delightful. Very helpful. We had to change our travel plans, and she was super, super helpful. Nancy, who managed the free breakfast, which is like...
delight. Oh, so let's just say it. The free breakfast was incredible.
It was awesome.
They had renovated this place since we saw the photos. The whole place was like
it was
spruced
great.
Up. The breakfast area was amazing. Everybody was having so much fun making their waffles. The waffles were delicious.
Yeah.
They had all sorts of other things.
Yeah, so that ended up being like such a pleasant surprise. What else? Okay, here's the thing. Boise living, I could get used to it. Now, I like how we rented like a Ford Explorer, which is way too big of a car for having here. But there, because all the parking spots are these massive, like you could park a boat in them.
Yeah.
The roads are wide. You know, it's a whole different, driving there is a whole different situation.
We went to Texas Roadhouse for my Father's Day dinner when that was a blast.
Oh, yeah. And to everyone who commented like that I would love it, yeah, you were right. Like the rolls, the salad,
the vibe,
the experience. I didn't love the huge dead buffalo that was like looking down at me. But otherwise, really top notch. We also went to one of the best Indian meals I've ever had.
Yeah, in Boise, Idaho.
What was that called? Red
Roof?
Red Fort cuisine of India. So Boise, I mean, has amazing food. Well, I don't know if I put Texas Roadhouse in that, but...
No, amazing food, Texas Roadhouse, Hampton and Breakfast, and Red Fort Indian. That's your 3 stops.
And cherries, you know, out in the rural area. Now, should we switch gears and speak of kind of the heavier stuff?
Yeah.
So...
The reason we went up there, people might know, I talked about Boise a few weeks ago. I went up to see my dad because he's not doing so well. And I came back, and then I really thought we all needed to go up and see my dad before we went on our trip to Paris. And unfortunately, he's not doing so well.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, he had some melanoma cancer, which has come back here and there, and he gets removed on and on. But recently it has spread to his lungs. And so when that happens, that means he has stage 4 melanoma, which is
very aggressive.
Super intense, yeah. In addition to that, he is in horrible pain because of kind of a lifelong issue with some back problems and whatnot.
His nerves
so he has really intense nerve pain going on right now in his legs especially. So it's really hard for him to get around. And then he has this whole cancer thing going. And the poor guy, it's just tough times right now.
Yeah. And so, so we wanted to be there with him. I you know, your dad is such like... For those who listened, I'm going to get very emotional. For those who listened to Nobody's News and heard him being a field correspondent, he's just a goddamn delight. Like, he has such a specific, funny, dry spirit that comes through. And that's still so there, and it was fun to be there.
Yeah.
With him, but he, you know, there's a lot of fatigue, and I don't know, I hadn't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
Yeah.
And but I was very glad that we went and had some quality time with him, especially we are still going to France, but knowing that, you know, those plans are flexible.
Yeah, of course.
And so yeah, I mean, it's just perspective on what's important, which is family.
Yeah. And so, I mean, just, everything. I mean, that's been heavy on my mind the past month in general. And then obviously on that trip, like super heavy. Yeah. And so that kind of leads to, if you've been waiting this episode to hear a little bit more about us ending Nobody's News, which we announced last week,
Yeah.
that has a big part to do with that ending.
Yes.
We kind of had hoped that we would do summer hours, which was something we announced about a month ago when all this stuff was kind of bubbling up, and we knew we were going on a big trip this summer. We're like, oh, that's a good idea. We'll do the show once a week. And then we kind of realized even doing it once a week with all of this stuff going on, just we truly didn't have the bandwidth for it.
That's right.
And so that's why we had to make the tough decision to do that. I want to say here, because I don't even know if we weren't able to thank people in this regard, the comments that we've received since ending the show.
Oh, God.
Unreal. And it exceeded all of our expectations.
We literally have the best listeners. I mean, we got hundreds of comments and messages of support, and it means a lot that the show meant a lot to a lot of people, even though we're bringing it to a close. Like, we still loved doing it. It felt important to us.
Yeah.
We learned a lot from it. It's inspiring to us for other projects we have coming down the pipeline in the future. And so, to everyone listening, we just really appreciate you.
Yeah, it was incredible to hear from everyone. Want to reiterate, nobody has to worry about this show going anywhere. We are going to do this until...
I mean, this show, the difference is, I think this show is truly...
therapeutic sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, we have to have this. Like, even in these like hard times, this is a comforting thing. Not to say that Nobody's News, we had so much fun doing it, but there was more mental bandwidth that had to go into a show like that.
That's right.
Where this is more emotional bandwidth.
This is a more selfish show.
Yeah, that's very true.
It kind of is. This show is for us.
Yeah.
More so. I mean, not that Nobody's News wasn't fulfilling in its own way, but this is like a requirement in our lives. It's why we came back to podcasting.
Yeah, because we couldn't fucking help ourselves.
No, I think that it does. It helps our marriage.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
okay.
like we were drawn back into it.
Yes, yeah.
Anyways, I just want to reiterate that.
Okay. Well, on that note, thank you.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for all the sweet messages, for understanding all of this stuff.
And good night.
Good night.